always say to myself before every game, God doesn't give me any storm that I can't handle.
I didn't come here for you.
So you get the best of both worlds. I have another one that you'll probably see me wear later on that is even more fever. So just wait for that one, but yeah.
And the wait is over.
It started with a quiet drop, a new Kobe sneaker colorway. Then suddenly, Caitlin Clark stepped into frame. Not just as an athlete, but as a movement. The crowd noise vanished, the music swelled, and a new Nike ad aired that could reshape the entire future of women's basketball, and even Nike's own brand strategy. But this wasn't just a shoe, it was a message, one that linked Clark to one of the most iconic names in sports history, Kobe Bryant. And what happened next sent shockwaves through sneaker culture, the WNBA and the NBA all at once. Because this isn't just about sneakers, this is about the business of basketball, and how one player might be about to change everything. To understand just how monumental this moment really is, we've got to look back, because Caitlin Clark's rise has already broken records. But this move, this might be her biggest yet. Let's break down exactly what Nike just did, and why it might go way deeper than you think. But first, if you're passionate about the culture of basketball and the business behind it, subscribe to the channel, because we bring you the real story the mainstream won't. Now, let's start with what Nike didn't do. Until now, Nike's hesitation to back Caitlin Clark. For months, fans were wondering, where's the merch? Where's the campaign? Why is Nike, the brand that invented athlete-driven storytelling, seemingly doing so little with Caitlin Clark? One of the most talked-about athletes on the planet. It didn't add up. Here you had a generational scorer, shattering TV ratings, selling out arenas, becoming a cultural lightning rod. And yet, Nike's rollout was practically silent. No billboards, no viral ads, no exclusive drops until now. So when the Caitlin Clark x Kobe v Protro PEs were announced, the internet finally said what everyone was thinking. Finally. But the question is, why now? And what's really going on behind the scenes? We'll get into that next, including why the Kobe connection is much bigger than just a name on a shoe, the Kobe Bryant connection. Pairing Caitlin Clark with Kobe Bryant's sneaker line wasn't a random decision. This was strategic. Kobe's legacy, especially post-retirement, wasn't just about being one of the greatest to ever play. It was about mentoring the next generation, particularly in women's basketball. Remember Gianna Bryant? The young prodigy, Kobe's daughter, who wore number 2 and dreamed of the WNBA? Caitlin Clark represented a continuation of that dream. Nike knew that. And whether you agree with the move or not, tying Clark to Kobe is as much about storytelling as it is about sales. Because this isn't just marketing, this is legacy building. And if Nike gets this right, they're not just selling sneakers, they're rewriting the blueprint for women in sports. But even this historic pairing didn't come without backlash. The backlash and the branding debate. When the Clark and Kobe PEs were revealed, not everyone was thrilled. Some fans wanted a completely new shoe. Why is Caitlin wearing Kobe's shoes, critics asked. She's bigger than that. She deserves her own lane. And honestly, they had a point. But here's the counter. This wasn't just about building Clark's brand from scratch. It was about anchoring it to something already iconic. Nike did it with Jordan. They did it with Penny. They even did it with Sabrina Ionescu, though it flew more under the radar. But Caitlin Clark? She might be the most visible female athlete Nike has had since Serena Williams. So while the branding debate continues online, this rollout is just the start. Because the real moment people are waiting for isn't these Kobe's. It's her shoe. And what happens between now and then could define Caitlin's brand for years to come. The commercial that changed everything. And then came the commercial. Dark lighting, tight angles, a simple message. When Caitlin Clark laces up her Kobe 5 PEs, she steps into a new dimension. No cameos, no distractions, just a jump shot. That jump shot. The one that shattered records at Iowa, that built a fan base across the country. Nike knew exactly what they were doing, because just like MJ had the Jumpman, Clark's form is instantly recognizable. So now fans are asking, is this jump shot the start of her own logo? And if it is, how far is Nike willing to go? Because that commercial wasn't just a promo, it was a signal that the Clark era is officially here. But wait, why did it take this long? To understand that, we have to look at Nike's biggest marketing misstep in years, the missed opportunities before this. Nike had Caitlin Clark on the roster months ago, but there was no signature merchandise, no social media blitz, not even a basic t-shirt rollout in stores. Meanwhile, Clark's name was breaking into every conversation. From ESPN panels to viral TikToks to sold-out WNBA games, fans weren't just watching, they were begging to buy in. So why didn't Nike pull the trigger sooner? Some say it was strategic, a slow burn to build anticipation. Others say they simply underestimated the demand. Whatever the reason, this recent ad and the response to it shows how much ground Nike still has to make up. Because this isn't just about basketball, this is about culture, influence, ownership. And for the first time, the WNBA has an athlete that's not just marketable, she's must-have. But we've seen this before, which brings us to the final piece, the business of being the moment. In the past, brands have had viral female athletes, but what makes Caitlin Clark different is this. She moves product. Already, resale markets are anticipating her Kobe's hitting $2,000 to $3,000 per pair. That's unheard of for a player exclusive from a WNBA rookie. But it's not just about sales, it's about power. Because with this drop and this commercial, Caitlin Clark didn't just become a Nike athlete, she became a Nike asset. And the message from the fans was clear. We want more commercials, more shoes, more respect. Because for years, the WNBA struggled to break into mainstream conversation. Now, Clark is leading it, and the pressure's on Nike to keep up. So what comes next? From Kobe's legacy to sneaker culture to the evolving business of women's sports, this commercial may be just 30 seconds long, but it might have sparked the beginning of something much, much bigger. The jump shot, the branding, the price tag. It all points in one direction. Caitlin Clark is no longer just a basketball star, she's a brand. And if Nike plays this right, they won't just sell shoes, they'll help build the next global icon. Thanks for watching, and if you're enjoying breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're only just getting started.